Hundreds of thousands of patrolmen report for duty, armed with a badge and the latest in video technology. You are about to witness their never-before-seen footage, their stories caught on tape. Now on Disorderly Conduct, get ready for video that's hard-hitting, fast-moving, breathtaking, and just plain mind-boggling. If you're ready, we're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Disorderly Conduct is on the air. Kentucky. Icy roads and freezing rain make this a treacherous time to be traveling. Trooper Bill Allen is a busy man tonight as he responds to one of the many spinouts along the interstate.
Are you all right?
The driver is shaken, but at least he's not hurt. Then, without warning, Trooper Allen's squad car is hit from behind. The impact knocks out the dash cam and sends the cruiser spinning. When the camera comes back on, the patrol car faces oncoming traffic. Meanwhile, Trooper Allen goes to help the young woman who rammed his vehicle.
Hey, come on.
She has a problem getting out of her car. Suddenly, the officer spots 18 wheels of trouble headed right in their direction. It's a terrifying sight as a jackknife truck plows into a car, then slams it against the cruiser. The car's driver never even sees the tractor-trailer coming. But incredibly, this horrific scene has a happy ending. The trucker and the man he hit walk away with barely a scratch. And what about Trooper Allen and the woman he was trying to help? At the last second, he was able to yank her out of her car and both escape uninjured. A stolen car suspect is on the loose in Southern California with the LAPD hot on his tail. You can sense that cops are itching for the chance to take this guy out with a pit maneuver. But there's a couple of rules that must be followed, or the officer is going to have some serious explaining to do. First, innocent folks can't be in the way. And second, the suspect can't be going too fast. That criteria is met as the pursuit crosses this intersection. The lead cop connects, but the suspect doesn't cooperate and keeps on going into the next intersection. And it's time for take two. The cruiser comes within inches of the car, but unfortunately, close only counts in horseshoes. The pursuit continues through a residential area, a gas station, and just past a kid on a bike. Since the pit maneuvers haven't worked, it's time to go to Plan B. Watch as an officer adds some spike strips to the mix. It's a deflating experience for the suspect as his front tire first loses air, then a hubcap, A couple of blocks later, it's back to the first line of defense when yet another pit is applied. This guy must be pit-proof because he still hasn't stopped. He's tireless in more ways than one as he takes a short jaunt down the sidewalk. Then back onto the street. By the time he hits this alley, his ride is both smoking and slowing. The officer decides it's time for, what else? Another pit maneuver. This time, the suspect is stopped for good. After a short standoff, two officers move in. As one breaks the window with his baton, the other points his taser gun. The suspect takes a direct tase, then waddles a few feet before he's tackled to the ground and taken into custody. Fortunately, no one is injured in the pursuit. Although it's safe to say the battered car faces some major rehab. It's a tranquil Tuesday in Odessa, Texas. But that's all about to change thanks to a very desperate driver. The man in that speeding car just learned he faces a long prison sentence if he's convicted of an upcoming assault trial. But all Robert Dollison knows is this guy sure appears to be a head case.
He just went off the road.
He seems to drive everywhere but on the pavement. And it looks like he goes out of his way to hit things along the road, from fences to signs.
He just took out a sign.
While this is going on, a lieutenant speeds down the cross street to join the pursuit. This is his view as he pulls up to a stop sign. Suddenly, the chase gets personal. Here's how the crash looks from the first cruiser.
He just turned 15 into 4-1.
Even though Deputy Dollison just saw his supervisor get rammed, he quickly regains his cool.
There's still no down to.
This car has had one rough night, and it isn't long before the effect starts to show.
He has no right side tires. He's throwing sparks now.
Finally, amidst the sparks and smoke, the suspect hits one last mailbox. Then he rolls to a stop and is quickly boxed in by the deputy and his lieutenant, who is able to keep going after being hit. Moments later, the officers approach with guns drawn. Look closely and you'll see Deputy Dollison go for his pepper spray. Then put it to good use. The suspect takes a direct shot in the eyes, but he still refuses to give up, so the lieutenant goes to get his taser gun. Then after the driver opens his door, the taser takes him down. The one-man wrecking crew is cuffed and taken into custody. He's booked for evading arrest and will have to pay for damages. But that's the least of his problems. He still has that prison sentence to worry about. Don't go away. Disorderly conduct is in the chase. A trucker with the devil on his tail gets in a hell of a mess.
Yeah, there's 3 blondes in here.
And cops bring down a wanted man the hard way. More hard-hitting, disorderly conduct is next. Dallas, Texas. Police try to stop a suspect driving a tractor-trailer all over the freeway. Concerned motorists call in the dangerous driver. But it's no easy job slowing down a 19-ton big rig. Police have no idea what's wrong with the trucker behind the wheel. They just need to get him out of that cab ASAP. They may be outweighed, but not outgunned. Cops start shooting out the tires as smoke pours from their overheated rims. The truck starts to lose control, heads for the shoulder and sideswipes a guardrail. And then, the rig heads off-road, nearly tipping over as it steers into a ditch. But comes safely to a stop. Cops have their guns drawn as they converge on the scene. The driver is soon in custody without injury and arrested. He told cops that the devil was chasing him, and he was only trying to get away. Police say they found the man was under the influence of narcotics and amphetamines and driving long past the legal number of hours without a break, which is enough to get the devil after anybody, but not enough to stay out of jail. A security camera rolls in a convenience store in High Point, South Carolina, as a couple approaches the cashier. But what looks like a normal transaction is about to become a vicious attack. Without warning, the suspect slams the cashier in the face with a fire extinguisher. The man goes down, knocked out cold. The suspect doesn't even pause, but goes straight for the cash drawer. He gets the money, and the pair leave the store. With the cashier still unconscious behind the counter, it's a blow that could kill a man. But he survives with some serious bruises. He was unable to call for help, but the camera helped identify the attacker, who was reportedly picked up and charged with robbery and assault. Every cop knows that little things can quickly become big things. And that's exactly what's about to happen tonight. It starts as a standard stop for expired plates in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
Yeah, your plates are expired since February?
No big deal, probably a simple citation. There are 3 passengers, including a guy in the back seat who just happens to catch the officer's eye. He recognizes the man from a mugshot, but the cop keeps his cool as he strolls back to his squad car. Once in the cruiser, he confirms that there's a warrant out for his arrest.
Yeah, there's 3 blondes in here.
After backup arrives, the decision is made to get the driver away from her car so she can talk freely about her mysterious passenger.
Back here for a second, let me explain the citation.
It turns out she and the man are the parents of an 8-year-old girl who's sitting in the front seat. When she learns the child's dad is about to be arrested, she pleads for restraint.
Please don't do nothing for my daughter.
Once back at the car, the officer tries to show some cop compassion.
I know your daughter's in the car, all right? You got one of 2 options, all right? You can chill out and relax with me and walk back to my car, or we can just do it the hard way.
It looks like the guy is going to comply.
I'm gonna hold on your wrist while we go over there, okay?
Then again, maybe not. The suspect makes 2 serious errors in judgment. First, he fights the police within eyesight of his little girl. And secondly, He thinks he can escape from 2 tough troopers, including one who's about a foot taller than he is. Maybe the reason he's so desperate is because officers later find a bag of crystal meth in his pocket, plus some marijuana next to where he was sitting. He's charged with drug possession and resisting arrest, as well as the outstanding warrants. In the end, officers regret having to fight the man in front of his daughter. But as the video shows, they were clearly out of choices. Look out, disorderly conduct is everywhere. A rider thinks he's a stuntman. And a woman has a really bad headache. Get it into your head. Disorderly conduct has only begun. A rider in Tallahassee, Florida, pulls a wheelie right in front of a deputy's unmarked car. But he pulls a little too hard and ends up flat on his back. Fortunately, the rider is still conscious and scrambles to his feet. He makes it to the side of the road as Deputy Leon approaches. The rider is in a lot better shape than the bike, but he's still going to get a ticket as Deputy Leon points him to the sidewalk. Not only was he riding with little sense, he was doing it without a license. He got a ticket for the offense. But he's lucky he didn't end up with a tag on his toe. In Humboldt, Texas, Officer Frank Say turns his dash cam on a suspect in the back seat. The woman was pepper sprayed after resisting arrest for shoplifting. She wants air, even if it means sticking her head out the window. Officer Say can't believe his eyes when he looks up at the rearview mirror.
Get back in the car! Get in the car! Put your head in the car!
He stops as another officer from a following cruiser runs up and pushes her back in the car.
I can't breathe, sir!
You run your mouth good enough, you're breathing.
I can't breathe, sir!
Well, you can say I can't breathe, you're breathing.
Sir, I can't breathe!
Breathe just as good as I am.
Sir!
The woman is convinced that she can't breathe, and she's about to get a serious headache. Maybe this will get the point across. That didn't have much effect, so it's back to the passenger window. And just in case you missed it the first time, so far, the suspect has taken about 40 self-administered blows to the head. And now, she has a new complaint.
I can't breathe! I can't see!
Can't breathe, can't see, can use feet.
Let me out of here! Let me out! Let me out!
She breaks the window with her feet. And moments later, she's trying to climb out of the moving car.
She's trying to jump out the window. She's not gonna be able to fit it,
Officer Say pulls into the station house with the suspect still hanging out the window. She is safely pulled from the back seat with her sight and her breathing still intact.
I can't breathe.
And somehow, without a fractured skull. Sterlington, Louisiana. Sheriff's deputies can't understand why this guy refuses to stop for a simple speeding ticket. The answer comes when they run the vehicle's plates. The SUV is stolen. With light traffic up ahead and open land on the right, a deputy decides to go for a pit maneuver. But the driver avoids the hit by briefly taking this off-road. Next, it's the suspect's turn when he tries to cut off the cop. After cruising through town, the man hangs a right into a residential area. It looks like this is over when a cruiser closes in on a cross street. But the suspect wants to end this on his own terms and swerves around the sheriff. The pursuit continues over streets, sand lots, and through a service station. Finally, he comes across a turn he can't quite negotiate. The lead deputy quickly moves to box him in. The suspect backs up. But this road trip is over. Moments later, the suspect gets out and appears to surrender. But just off camera, he tries to run. That's when deputies turn to the taser and the suspect is brought down to earth. If prosecutors have their way, his running days are over for a long time. The man is reportedly charged with 10 criminal counts, from grand theft auto to felony flight to aggravated battery of a police officer. Lots more shocking, disorderly conduct coming your way. A clothes thief gets a dressing down by the law. And a suspect takes a turn for the worse. Give up. Disorderly conduct will catch you every time. This suspect being chased by police in Gaffney, South Carolina is on his way to a flea market. That's not a crime. Problem is, he's allegedly stolen all his girlfriend's clothes. And he's on his way to the flea market to sell them. Because he reportedly needs money to buy crack. And now he's literally fleeing to the flea market. The suspect slows to a stop in front of lead officer Jimmy Miller's car.
We're stopping here in the middle of the road. I don't know what he's doing yet.
Then he throws it in reverse and heads straight for the officer. He rams the patrol car hard. A passenger decides he's had enough and bails out. Officer Miller suffers a painfully dislocated right thumb in the crash, but he keeps up the chase.
He put it reverse and ran in my car.
And he's going to show the suspect the right way to ram a car off the road. He plows into the car, popping the rear hatch. And there's all the girlfriend's neatly folded clothes. It's a wardrobe malfunction for sure. But Officer Miller isn't finished. With a second solid shot, the suspect is out of commission. Officer Miller is out of the car, but with that injured right thumb, he has to hold his gun left-handed and wait for help from backup. The suspect is removed and cuffed. He's reportedly charged with DUI, resisting arrest, and driving without a license or insurance. Officer Miller's thumb was treated, and the clothes were returned to their rightful owner. The suspect never made it to that flea market, but he did get himself some nice new prison duds thanks to Officer Miller. The man driving this car refuses to stop for a sheriff's deputy in Oakland County, Michigan. It just might have something to do with the fact that he recently consumed 12 beers and a pint of peppermint schnapps. After ignoring the deputy's flashing lights for several blocks, the guy floors it. The Buick races through this bedroom community with the driver ignoring every stop sign in sight. He almost loses it on this turn as the pursuit heads toward an area known as Deer Hill. A sedate Saturday is interrupted by sirens as the cars speed by lush lawns and multi-million-dollar mansions. But the combination of high speeds and a high driver are about to turn this guy's world upside down. He hits a turn too fast, spins out, and flips. The officer's not sure of the driver's condition, but he's not about to take any chances. Finally, the driver is able to wiggle out of the car. But he won't wiggle out of the trouble he's in. After he admits to downing lots of beers and booze, he's booked for driving while intoxicated as well as fleeing and eluding. One surefire way to irritate police officer Jim Simone is to ignore him. That's just what's happening tonight in Cleveland, Ohio, where the veteran cop is attempting to pull over this Nissan.
Seatbelts on anybody who want to stop for some reason.
Suddenly, the chase is on.
266 in pursuit of southbound West 31st and Clark.
What started as a simple seatbelt violation is now a perilous pursuit through this Southside neighborhood. The driver and his two passengers fly down this narrow street with cars parked on both sides. Then the wheelman misses this turn and crashes. The driver decides he's out of here. Understandably, Officer Simone is in no mood for niceties when he confronts the passengers.
Move! Get out! Get out right now! Over here!
Police claim the car is stolen and is full of stolen goods and crack cocaine. The driver is later captured and reportedly ends up getting 4 years in jail.
Get against the car! You're under arrest! Shut up!
You can't flee from disorderly conduct. A suspect makes a terrible choice and forces cops to make one of their own. And a fast food free-for-all as a mugger and employees go head-to-head. Sit tight. More supersized disorderly conduct is on the way. Cops respond to a call about a teen with a rifle who was reportedly breaking car windows and threatening people in Oceano, California. Suddenly, the suspect is spotted.
Got a rifle? Put the rifle down!
Put it down!
Put it down!
Put it down!
When the young man refuses to drop his rifle, deputies open fire. With guns drawn, the deputies move in on the wounded suspect. They can see he's still alive as he lays moaning in the street. Once it's evident that the suspect is no longer a danger, paramedics are called.
Code 61, request medics.
Despite taking a direct hit to the chest, the man survives the shooting. He's later charged with brandishing a firearm, resisting an officer, and vandalism. Out of nowhere, a mugger snatches the wallet of this fast food customer in Lakeland, Florida. She fights back, forcing him to drop the billfold again and again. When he punches his victim, store employees rush in to help. They get the wallet back, but the would-be hamburglar escapes. But thanks to this video, he's captured several days later. Police in Bryant, Arkansas try to pull over a car after a routine traffic violation. But the woman behind the wheel with a male passenger aboard wants to break a few more laws while she's at it. She's a big fan of driving on the wrong side of the road and running stop signs, too. Then she runs a red light into a place she may be staying for good if she's not careful.
Going into the cemetery.
A pursuit in a graveyard. You don't see that too often. But the suspect finds her way back to the land of the living and opens up the throttle. She tries a big fake to the right. But an officer picking up the chase isn't buying it. Down the road, another officer on foot throws a spike strip. You can barely make him out at the right of your screen as the suspect's right rear tire catches the strip. The suspect keeps running through a bunch of red lights, and stop signs. The suspect is in a crippled car and takes a hard bump from the pursuing cruiser and still runs a stop sign, missing another car by a split second. Then she tops it off by running a stop sign over a railroad crossing. It's becoming clear that the suspect will stop only with the use of force. With plenty of room to move, the officer rams her into a field when she tries a left turn. Police collar the young woman. A second dash cam rolls as officers invite her pal to step out of the passenger side. Both suspects were charged with possession of supplies to make methamphetamine. The young woman was booked for fleeing and reckless driving. And to top it off, no vehicle insurance. Now that's careless.
Step over here.
Whatever you do, don't take off.
Man, why'd you cover up that 420 marijuana sticker? Where's the paraphernalia and marijuana at?
You're just seconds away from more disorderly conduct. Three words describe this stolen car suspect: determined, desperate, and dumb. He's so determined to get away from police that he's willing to drive over a sidewalk and through this gas station. He's so desperate that he's willing to thread between cars and run red lights. And he's so dumb that he thinks he's going to get away from the California Highway Patrol. Finally, a deputy decides to knock some sense into this guy. The pit maneuver sends him into another car. Then he hits the cruiser and incredibly keeps on going. The suspect may want to keep on running, but his car is obviously having second thoughts. Another nudge is just enough to bring this to an end. After a brief standoff, the dangerous driver is finally smart enough to give up. The final toll is 3 damaged cars and lots of frazzled nerves. Fortunately, another D word won't have to be used: deadly. State Trooper Joseph Hogue pulls over a suspect wanted for a department store robbery in Sulphur Springs, Texas.
What's that?
Right away, he senses something suspicious about the man, who is riding with a female passenger.
Step over here. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Don't hide your hands, sir. Don't hide your hands, okay? Stand back over here.
The suspect sees an opening and he takes it. If you look to the right of your screen, there's the suspect and the trooper still running hard. The foot chase heads for the freeway. Seconds later, the suspect crosses onto the median with the trooper behind. He falls, and now you can see the two struggle in the distance. But incredibly, the suspect gets away again. He heads up along the freeway, and this time he's caught for good off camera while the woman steps out. A second trooper deals with the passenger, and here comes Trooper Hogue with his hard-won catch of the day, who was booked for robbery and fleeing.
Stand back over here.
It was quite a track meet. But in the end, he couldn't outrun the law. The 2 young ladies in this car are living a dream. They're on their way from California to Colorado to be snowboard instructors for the upcoming ski season. Now they're hoping this traffic stop in Nevada doesn't put a chill on their winter plans. When the driver tells the officer she doesn't have her license, he has her step out and request another unit. The reason that he calls for backup is that when he stuck his head in the window, 2 things grabbed his attention. 1, the distinct odor of marijuana, and 2, a narcotics-related sticker on the dash. But this clever cop isn't about to let the woman know that he suspects she's high on more than just life.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
After he tells the driver to stand with his partner, he approaches the passenger. He immediately notices that she's done some interior decorating.
Man, why'd you cover up that 420 marijuana sticker?
Huh?
Where's the paraphernalia and marijuana
We
at?
don't have any.
But her story doesn't pass the smell test.
Where's it at? I can smell it right now. I know what green marijuana smells like.
That's all the officer needs to invite himself in.
I'm gonna search the car and find it. You can either tell me
Do you
now.
have any reason to search it?
Yeah, I can smell marijuana.
After ordering the passenger from the car, the trooper discovers a small plastic baggie of dope. It's enough to lay down the law.
Both under arrest with transfer on your back.
And the women find out firsthand that Nevada has some of the toughest drug laws in the country.
Possession's a felony in this state.
Is that little?
But a few minutes later, the man with a badge shows he also has a heart.
It is a felony offense, but I'm going to charge you under a misdemeanor code, which is transporting drugs interstate commerce, okay? So you'll both just have 2 misdemeanors.
The only condition is that the women are being truthful when they claim there's no more marijuana in the car.
But I don't want you to think this is the end of the world, okay?
A more thorough search of the car will prove if the ladies are being honest or not. The verdict is quickly reached when officers pry open a box found on the back seat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right on.
The officers find 2 more pounds of marijuana and tell the pair there's been a sudden change of plans.
Hey, ladies, just so you know, the misdemeanor deal's off, okay? You're both going to go on the felony.
The women are both transported to jail and charged with felony transportation of a controlled substance. And within a matter of minutes, what began as a dream trip has turned into a nightmare.
They're going felony now. I knew it. I could smell it. Some more. Yeah.
Cherry Sunday.